God, Crime.com has an article and the title says, "Would you like a side of glitter with that burger?" Texas first drive-in, it's Vivid Gentlemen's Club, a 2618 Windwalk.
Wow, not surprised. Aren't they one of the top biggest Houston stripper chains ever to have made?
You could just have it with however you want it. You know, they said in the article it's like Burger King, except for it's like strippers. You know, it's just strippers. You pick your stripper, and you just go right through, drive through, and watch them twerk.
Okay.
And I'm assuming you can get a drink or something.
Well, the problem with that, sometimes the produce, the stuff at Burger King can be a little stale. So I hope they don't carry on that same business plan until the Vivid daiquiri slash taco.
Yeah, and that's what it says. They got nachos, burgers, chicken sandwiches, jalapeno poppers, and booty. They have it all. They have TNA with your food, live entertainment. I mean, the bottom line is that COVID-19 has changed the world. So look, you got to think outside the box. If you have a business, you got to figure out how you going to be able to adjust. And but yeah, Houston's first, Texas's first.
Ooh. Welcome.
Drive-through strip club.
I thought you knew about Texas until you heard about the Vivid strip club drive-through. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to.
Are you gonna go?
Absolutely. I'm gonna drive by, hashtag it on Instagram, see what the traffic is looking like. I'm excited. This is an amazing moment in time in history. You have to adjust to what's happening in the world. I really was thinking about that yesterday, actually. I was like, I'm so.
Are you thinking about stripping, or are you just thinking about just
both? And you know, what can I do? Oh, also because OnlyFans was trending in Texas last night, actually on Twitter.
Really?
And for those of you that don't know what OnlyFans is, it is an opportunity to make a fantastic livelihood.
How's your OnlyFans going?
Oh, actually, thank you for putting that out there. I sat back. My unemployment came in. I was like, let me chill.
You know what? But I'm saying, if you got the OnlyFans, you need to tell them, because this is the bottom line. For those that don't know what OnlyFans is, it is a platform that allows you to put yourself on there, whether it's pictures, videos,
anything.
I want to say they even starting to do podcasts with it too.
It's truly
whatever, but it has a back page kind of not persona, this is not a person, reputation.
So
people
like
automatically associated with sex workers are on there. We're not saying that they're not, but there are other things. Comedians are on OnlyFans too as well. Actors are on OnlyFans. You know, we'll see
celebrities, like that's what I'm saying. You gotta adjust to the time,
and it's like Patreon. Okay, so Patreon, that's another platform where you can patronize a certain entertainer or what have you. So it's the same thing. You have a certain amount that you're going to charge per month, and then your in particular fans get to see these extra tidbits.
You go?
You know what I mean? I don't.
You should.
I don't.
Do the training course for it.
I don't. But I sound like you like to sell it, don't I?
Yeah, you're the lady you're the video that we watch before we,
before
finish our paperwork.
I tell you, like, look, now that you've been approved,
right? Exactly. You give us little tips, like talk to them, make them ask them about their children. You know, you
feel special.
Yes, you do. You have
but
to.
Seriously, I'm just saying, right now as comedians, there's only 2 places in Houston that are open for comedy as far as a club is concerned. There are some other locations that are open, but bars are closed.
Yeah.
So,
which are stages.
So as a comedian, get you OnlyFans. I might do it too. You don't have to be naked. Nobody said that you have to take anything off. No. It can really be about your just fans getting a chance to see your behind the scenes type of life and what you do.
Yes,
and that's probably where you can put your stupid videos of you cooking.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That would be the perfect place, post it, because your fans care. Nobody else cares about the fact that you had some meatless chicken nuggets for the first time. Like, nobody really...
They care about the meat.
Yeah, they care about actual meat. But
I have an OnlyFans, and Amazing.
What is it?
I love
say
that.
it.
It's fantastic. I love it so much because you absolutely, truly can choose how you. It's your own little business. You make up how much you want to charge. You make up how much you want to show. How you want to go about it. And me personally, I've worked at no, I don't be showing the all whatever
all the goods.
Yeah, all the goods.
All the goods.
But I give you enough. And I've worked at restaurants. I call them. They're like
that is the name of them, restaurants.
I like to call them the community colleges of strip clubs. It's like you're not quite big leagues, but you can carry a tune. And so
I don't see nothing wrong with it. I should have gotten a job at Brick House because I am a Brick House
Tavern.
The Tavern. I
worked there.
I just wanted to work at Brick House but Brick House don't have brick houses really.
Not at all. They got the bricks.
They got some bricks outside.
They have that.
It's a house made of bricks.
Right. They have the straw.
But it's supposed to be a restaurant, but it should be thick with it.
Not anymore, actually. Yeah, it's funny when I worked there way back in the day, and they had changed all that. And most of these places now that are restaurants. See, that's the crazy thing about it too, which is why back to the Vivid Live thing that I'm very excited about. I think it's going to be very successful because what I've learned from working at these places, there's a different type of woman for every person, not even man, just person,
for every person,
couples, women, men, everybody got their own type of what they want. And I've worked at these restaurants, and that's why OnlyFans is successful too, because I could be the ugliest thing to somebody, but down the street I could be everything.
You could be everything.
And I've gotten men, I think they men, if not, that's fine, whatever. Right. But I've gotten customers that have given me more money. Literally, they're just like they like you.
Because they like you. You know what I mean? And they just want to see you succeed.
That's easy for me.
That's it. Right. Yeah. And that's their way of giving back.
It is.
What is your OnlyFans, Leah?
Okay, so we're gonna wait to the end. Because look, I kind of took a little hiatus again because I got spoiled. But I'm actually coming back with it tomorrow. No, not even. Oh, he's like my accountant, low key. Like no. Like this is our partner. This is our teamwork right here. Teamwork. No, it was just honestly, it's a lot of work, Tressa. Right. It's literally a lot of work. You have to post stuff and keep them interested, keep posting stuff, and I can only recycle the same pair of pants.
Scheduled? You know what? You know what? Like, you know what? See, I don't have time.
I gotta flip them inside out and make it look different. Give me an illusion.
Time for Leah.
You have to post every day. You have to shower every day. You have to do everything every day, and it's a lot. But I'm getting back into it.
And you schedule it though?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. You can.
I schedule it every day. I have my own little algorithm too, and I'm getting back to it, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, I'm doing a whole
photo shoot. Create one, probably.
You absolutely should. You can really post whatever you want.
Oh man,
it's whatever you want.
I can post myself without my wigs.
Absolutely. I promise you, somebody gonna pay
somebody. You want to see these cornrows, right? Because you want to know what does she look like without the wigs.
Right, we all been wondering.
I don't really think you're gonna care because I'm a Brick House, but I'm just saying you might want to see
the foundation,
what I look like. You want to see if my edges are still there. Do I have hair? I absolutely do. All right.
And if you didn't, that's fine. That's your prerogative. That's between you and your hair follicles.
I could just go, Tamar / Tiffany hat.
Right. That part.
Cut it off.
That part.
You're not gonna care
at all.
You still gonna want some.
Why? Because of the house?
Look, Brick House. Because of Brick House. House of the brick.
House of the brick.
So look, I'm gonna do my OnlyFans.
Yes.
She is gonna find her OnlyFans.
Yes, and I'm gonna give y'all the plug at the end.
We're gonna plug it at the end. But I seriously think that entertainers, comedians, if you haven't been, haven't had a chance to work or maybe even an improv group or whatever,
something.
Start your OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Get your money coming in.
Yep.
And we have all these. There's all these different little videos about how the dudes broke up with the girl because she had an OnlyFans. But like you said, it needs to be a business with your man.
Absolutely. I don't know ring on my finger, so there's nothing dictated. But if you are in a committed relationship, and I will say this, he actually takes my photos. Because if I post something, I'm like, well, you took it, you saw what it looked like, and you knew what the crack was. Yeah,
you knew I was working.
Exactly. You knew how that angle. Right. So yeah, he takes the photos. I approve of them, post them.
Right.
I put little, crazy things, whatever.
Right.
Like, I'm changing my wig. Let's see what else I changed. Click below. Something crazy.
Something crazy.
Yeah, something cute. Keep them coming back.
Do it.
Absolutely.
Get your OnlyFans.
Like all jokes aside.
Get your OnlyFans. I think I need to do it too. Okay, I'm gonna tell you now, I'm not gonna be naked, but you might see some wigless videos or pictures.
Yeah. Just you're gorgeous on social media, and just think about people paying you for that. You see, like the stuff that I post on my Instagram, I post very beautiful, fantastic, wonderful
first of all,
and people take them for free.
Leah has this figure that she looked like she worked out 23 hours of the 24, so it's easy for her to
not at all.
A whole bunch of
not at all. That is not how that works, Miss Tressa. That's not how that works.
Like
you got the bricks and
all the time.
I look like a 12-year-old boy playing in his mother's wigs and makeup. That's what I look like when it comes to the body part.
We're not. Look,
you got
we're not gonna do this. We're not
everything.
Gonna do this. I got Saley too.
I do too.
No, you don't.
It's like I promise
over here. She is in my face telling stories.
I'm not. I'm so tired. You're trying to hype me up like I'm just Serena Williams, and I'm definitely not. Not at all.
You look more like a woman than Serena Williams. I'm sorry. Did I say? I'm sorry. Serena Williams from the neck down, bomb. Okay,
she's an Amazon
bomb.
That is beyond a woman. That is like the most queen of all queens.
But she's a handsome woman. That's all I can try to say. Look, we're gonna take a little break. You are listening to 101.7 FM, 1540 AM. Join the conversation 281-587-1540, and we'll be right back. This is the Edge Morning Radio Show.
Edge Radio Network, where we have conscious conversation.
Edge is about love, relationships, and healing.
Edge Radio is for everyone and about everyone.
Edge is about working together.
Edge Radio is about recreating a beautiful body.
Edge is about community, synergy, and empowerment.
Edge is about being kind, compassionate, and loving to all.
And Edge Radio is about beauty and fashion.
各位观众 ，Edge Radio 是大家最好听的一个电台，不要忘记听哦。Yeah, I love Edge Radio. You can hear all about the topic and join us soon.
Edge is about being on the edge and not jumping. Yes.
When people stop talking to each other, society is on the edge. Let's bring them back. Edge Radio, because truth still matters.
We work our whole lives to support our families. With one accident or illness, it can all be gone in an instant. Now there's a smart, affordable way to protect your family. Go to findhealthbenefits.com and discover low-cost life insurance for as little as $2 per month. Add to that a tax-deferred annuity that can help you protect your assets and grow your money for retirement. Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094. A critical illness strike without warning and wipe out your life savings. In fact, it's the reason for bankruptcy. Find Health Benefits offers an affordable solution. Get up to $50,000 if you get cancer, stroke, or a heart attack, giving you the peace of mind to focus on getting better while the plan helps you to pay your bills and medical expenses. Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094. 66% of seniors spend more time shopping for cable TV than Medicare plans. Most say because it's just too confusing. Laws change every year. The wrong plan could cost you thousands and prevent you from seeing the doctors you want. Introducing FindHealthBenefits.com. Save time, save money, see specialists without referrals. Go to FindHealthBenefits.com or call 877-235-6094 for this informative brochure.
Society is on the edge. Let's bring them back. Edge Radio, because truth still matters.
We work our whole lives to support our family.
To the Edge Morning Radio Show, where comedians talk about comedy and everything that's going on in your world. So look, I am here with my co-host, comedian Leah Sampson.
Good morning.
And I've been doing this little segment every once in a while. It's called Your Life Ain't That Bad. Okay. You know, the fact that we live in America means that you are afforded the opportunity to, start your own business. You can, be a comedian, and even though your parents gonna tell you that's crazy. I was even told I was crazy for wanting to be a hairstylist because my father didn't understand how much hairstylists make back in the day. So he eventually figured that out. But other countries have it so much worse. Okay, there are so many people that just have to do some of the craziest things to make a living. But Leah, tell us about for you, what's the worst job you've ever had? What's the worst job you ever had?
Oh my goodness, having to clean out my mom's closet.
What happened?
Having to clean out my mother's closet.
You know
and
what?
I still never got paid for that, and I'm still waiting for that check. Never got it.
Never got it.
That was the first horrible child labor job I had, but probably the worst one. So I don't know. Oh, you know what?
What's the worst one?
When I was serving at the strip club.
Serving at the strip club.
Serving at the strip club, which is why I got excited about the vibe. It all makes sense. Makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then but you didn't get large tips from serving at the strip club?
So,
or did you get broke?
Broke people love women.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's funny you say that because there is that stigma that strippers or dancers or just anybody in that industry you just automatically make money. And no, it's not always that way. But it's not just the money part that made it completely terrible. It was just some of the people you had to deal with and some of the things we had to deal with. One of the things, Tressa, and I hope I can say this on the air, but every job has side work,
right?
Well, one of the side works, literally, this is what we had to do, is we had to pull up the cushions at the end of the night, and check for things.
Condoms?
Yes, and
you had on gloves, though. Right?
Some people did.
And check for condoms.
Yes, used ones and all types of stuff. You had to check for them.
That's
and
disgusting.
Pick them up, throw them away, and so
I would say that would traumatizing. That would be one of the worst.
It was bad, and then it's just
horrible.
Some people treat the staff at strip clubs very nicely, and some people treat them like, look, this is my only $5.
Strippers need to get them used condoms. They don't want to then let them have a little something on the side. First of all, you're not even supposed to be touching strippers.
Okay? Go down in the champagne room, That ain't none of my business. I'm just here to do service, you know what I'm saying? Which is serve a drink, cocktails, that's all.
Right, not servicing.
Not serving.
Not servicing.
I didn't want to dance. But it was mostly it was rent week. And
you never wanted to dance? You
oh, absolutely. All the time. Are you kidding me? There's nothing more just captivating than seeing, I'm a dancer anyway, so I don't see stripping as stripping. I see it as it's an art. It actually is an acrobatic art. So, when girls be on the pole and they're doing all types of tricks and they got the glitter, I love the glitter. And it's actually the strip club, honestly, in that moment, in that sense, it truly is magical. To see these women just.
But then when you look over at a man, does it change?
You see Miss Candy on his lap, and she's still in his wedding ring.
Okay, this is almost porn,
right? Which is a job too.
What is the worst stand-up job you had to take?
Oh, geez. Well, what was the worst job you've had?
For a job?
I can tell you about the stand-up thing, because, oh, boy.
So really, honestly, I've worked in places for not very long time. I act like I'm 65.
You really do something like that.
But typically, I'm usually at a company for, 5 years at a time or whatever. That's not a long time.
Yeah.
But the worst job that I had, but it's also one of the best things that happened to me too at the same time, because it kind of set it up for the rest of my life until I start running my own company. But the worst job was I used to sell weekly reader books and encyclopedias and Sears memberships, cold calling. So we were cold calling, and that actually isn't all that bad. But back then in the 90s, people could smoke. There was a smoking room back then.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, all the managers were mean as hell.
Right.
It was kind of like a slave shop. But the job itself wasn't that bad. I mean, you're cold calling, you have your leads, you're gonna get hung up on and cussed out. Okay, that's a part of telemarketing. And I was 16 years old. You know, so eventually I got promoted at 17, and that changed my life. But before that, I'm 42 now. Before that, we had to run to go cash our checks. So you could not put this check in the bank because it probably was going to bounce by the time that you got it. So there was a cash checking place in Chicago. We called them currency exchanges. Or if you truly have a Chicago accent, it's a currency exchange. Okay?
I'm glad you did that. Yes,
it's a currency exchange.
Yes,
currency exchange. Currency exchange. The currency exchange, okay, is your check cashing places, okay. And back then they were everywhere. They pretty much were on every corner, you know. So a lot of people didn't necessarily have bank accounts, you know, because the check was going to bounce. So it was 2 blocks away. So we would get off at 10. Now, mind you, at 17. I am 42. At 17, I withdrew myself out of high school because you could do that in Illinois at that time. I don't know if you can. And I worked 2 different shifts. So at 17, I made $980 every 2 weeks. Ballin'! So anyway, but I was going to run.
Like $1 million.
That was like I couldn't even legally drink, but I was drinking. So at 17, I'm 17 years old. All these people ranging from 16 years old to 50 years old, right?
Yeah.
At 9 o'clock, as soon as you got to make sure you've done with your call, and you're going to have to run to the currency exchange. You're running to the currency exchange. Now you got to stand in line and hope that you get there fast owners, you know. So eventually, that was at the currency exchange. Okay. That was Communicall Incorporated. They went bankrupt. And I think there's some tax fraud. Yeah, so I was making a lot of money, and I didn't file taxes for several years, and ended up having to pay back taxes for several years. It was the dumbest thing.
So that was the worst part of the job, is that you got caught up with taxes.
The worst part of the job was running.
Stewart.
Well, Martha Stewart, that was something else. You know,
I probably don't think I was even born when that happened. So I'm just here.
The worst part was not knowing that you were going to get paid or when.
Yeah, that's stressful.
And running, you know what I mean?
That's stressful.
And then, like, as far as comedy, I would say the worst probably was stand up at a strip club.
You fulfilled the myth.
I fulfilled
that's a myth. Like,
I did stand up at a strip club. I sure did.
Oh my gosh,
I sure did. I think at that time Leroy the Third was the host for that.
He doesn't sound like he's still alive.
No, Leroy the Third is a comedian now. He's on the show.
I'm so sorry. I thought this was like a man that worked. No, everybody's family. And
no, Leroy the Third is.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he has a night at Swagger.
Leroy's alive, y'all.
Yeah, Leroy's alive.
The Third is alive.
A night at Swagger. He had Duck Off. Leroy the Third, he'll be at the Laugh Jones Comedy Club coming up in August too. But yeah, it was a strip club, but it was a room outside of where the strippers were, you know. So you had the strippers, the main room, and then they had this other little room, and then all the strippers was really interested in me, and they was trying to pimp me out and told me that I need to come dance.
Yeah, that's what I did. That means I like you though.
You know what I mean?
It's nice.
So what's your worst stand-up job?
My worst. Oh wow. Okay, so. I would say my worst oh man, this is bad. It's making me upset because it was one of our fellow sisters, you know, but it just, the event was not done well. Long story short, it was an event for her food truck.
Okay.
And unfortunately, what's sad about it, the food was fantastic.
And this was a stand-up. You had to do it.
So they hired me to be the like MC stand-up act of the night. It was supposed to be like a 2-hour show.
Okay.
A band actually that's from here in Houston. I can't think of the name right now, but they're so good. I'll think of it. But anyways, they had a great line. Like they booked great talent. They booked me and the violinist from Houston and all that kind of stuff. And it was just a terrible event. Like maybe 10 people showed up.
Oh man.
It was in a warehouse. So, there's nothing worse than when you're doing a set in front of nobody.
Right.
But then you hear the echo. Yes, you have to continuously hear nobody and your joke just go like,
right.
So what's up with dogs? Dogs. So you're just being continuously reminded you took the wrong gig, and then it started raining. So the rain is hitting the shed of the place. So it just smells like pepper.
Oh my God.
And it went on for 2 hours because that's what I was contracted for.
So you were MC, like, do you have to do a set?
Yes, I had to do a set between each act. I had to do like a 10-15-minute set between each act. It started raining. People was getting mad, bro. Like the white people made dogs were pissed. Like they were like, bro, we can't even pretend this is like something. And
it was dogs in there too?
It was dogs too pissed.
Mad. Stank in there. And you were serving food
so much. And then it started to rain. And then they tried not to pay me. And then they tried not to pay me.
What?
Yes.
Because the thing about comedy is we get these offers to do stuff, and then there are producers that at the end of the show they know good and well before you even got there who was coming. They know what the ticket sales are, but they'll wait to the end and be like, "Hey, you know what? It really didn't do well. Look, I don't care what it did." I don't care what it did.
Look, I heard you like Bath and Body Works. I got a gift card.
You know what I'm saying? They
got
$12 try to pay you in food and weed, alcohol.
No, I'm sober by the end of the show because I need my coin.
I wanted $200. You told me $200, and then they'll be like, "Well, I gotta pay this out of my pocket." Stop using that. Well, I paid it out of. I don't care whose pocket came
exactly.
out of. If you are producing a comedy show, that is your job. It is nobody else's job to even market it unless you put that in writing.
Exactly.
That's what they're being paid for. So at the end of the day, I want my money. Okay,
yeah.
But look, we're gonna play a little video. So again, this is Your Life Is Not That Bad. I want you to watch this and understand that things could be worse. All right, so this in particular video, I'm gonna set it up for you. They're gonna be doing some fishing. And showing you how they go about fishing on Victoria Falls. And this is what they're doing, this on a regular basis in order to feed their families. Imagine if you had to do something like this. So we're going to play the clip. Roll that clip.
The reason Josfat's fishing pools are far from safe is their precarious position. At the very top of Victoria Falls, Josfat's bravery and skill enabled him to fish where no animal dares to venture.
Man. So again, your life ain't that bad. Imagine if you had, see, the whole point is they don't have competition with other animals going to the tip of Victoria Falls.
Yeah.
So they all get together, and this is prime fishing area. Did you, for those that are listening on the radio and not watching on the device, we just watched a group of men on a regular basis. They fish over Victoria Falls. Google Victoria Falls, and that is how they feed their families. While we getting Instacart.
Right.
We get Instacart and Uber Eats and everything else.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
I can't. You know what? I do actually think about those kind of things sometimes.
Do you?
Yeah, because I eat a lot of leftovers. And so it just kind of makes me think,
You
like,
know what?
But hey, you gotta tell yourself, you know what? There's countries where people don't even have the option to have leftovers because they
absolutely,
you know, they got to feed the whole family that night.
and
they got to go back out.
Go back out
and
to
hunt
the falls and hunt. Or did you see? Yes, I think the day before yesterday. Or were you here that day when we played the Lions?
No.
Okay. So the Nobo tribe, they actually take meat from the lions. They wait till the lions in Africa kill first, and then they walk up together in a line, you know, because it makes them look bigger.
Yeah.
And they walk up to the line. The lions run away, and they go take the slob dong meat.
Wow.
You know.
Yeah.
That's gangster.
That is very gangster. That's crazy. That's terrible. That's but it's the world.
It's the world that they live in.
Yeah, I watch a lot of what do you call, like, the travel food stuff. I cook a lot and I'm always watching that kind of stuff.
Right.
And yeah, right now there's a country where the kids are going out and they're cutting trees open and stealing. Oh, because I killed a roach last night. That's what made me think about it.
What?
Killed a roach. I was like, you know what? I could fry it and make something. But I thought it, real talk, I got the olive oil. But I remember watching that, and yeah, these kids, they open up the tree and they're kind of like, you know, remember from the Lion King, the bugs that Timon and Pumbaa would eat?
Right.
It'll be like that.
Right.
And they'll take them, and that's like a delicacy. They'll fry them up, and I mean, yeah.
I'm gonna find that video because a lot of other countries do. I mean, bugs are protein. So
yeah, a lot of other
countries
countries
it might
bugs.
be the new protein. I don't think I'm gonna go that route.
Well, I think southwest side of Houston gonna be buff. They gonna be strong because there's a whole lot of protein quality over there. Okay, I know that's where I'm from.
I don't think that the regular roach is a candidate for it because of the things that they, carry.
Oh yeah,
so you're going to find. That's crazy, but you got to find some clean bugs. You got to find the clean bugs.
Oh, how clean can a tree critter be?
It's the tree. It's nature, though.
True. It's not your kitchen.
It's not the kitchen.
It's not okay. The pantry.
I don't know where the house roaches come from. See, in Houston, I almost left Houston though because. The first time that I saw a tree roach, that's like 2 inches, almost 3 inches long, it seemed like. Almost caught me a spirit flight back to the shop. I almost, cause if it's the next day, you need a discount,
right? Groupon.
So I almost got me a spirit flight, a fear flight, because I was fearful.
Right. Okay.
I could not believe it, and I did see it in Louisiana. Louisiana has
Florida
those big, huge roaches, but I went to Papado on a date one time, and there's the one in the Galleria. You can eat outside, and it has like the little porch outside with the brick is up behind you.
Yeah.
Kind of like almost shoulder level, maybe while you're sitting down. And on top of this thing was I think it was a manhole or something. But these tree roaches, because it's not Papado's fault, it's nature.
Right.
But they were all over that.
No.
So I'm like, okay. At one point in this date, do I tell him, we gotta go.
Right.
Okay. So get your ticket. And I look
his
over
ticket.
That's what I'm saying.
Y'all,
his ticket.
Your meal, his ticket.
Get not mine. I'm saying
your meal, his ticket. No, you said exactly how.
Get your ticket. Get your ticket, and we need to go because I I can't, and I am scared of them big, huge things.
Yeah, see, I'm not. I'll punch. I've argued with a few.
Did you say you party with a few?
I probably did. I've argued with a few. I fight them. I punch. I don't care. Like, that's one thing I will say. You know, it is humbling when you do grow up, when you come from, you know, not the best of the best. Like, you learn how to fight a cockroach or two. Like, you know, I remember going to the suburbs and there'll be a roach in the classroom and everybody goes crazy, and I get like my Jet Li spirit stars out. And I, you know, I'm just
like, what you tripping on?
I'm like, what's up, friend? When you come, like, what's it? Hey, what you doing here? Yeah, no, bro, I kill a roach I kill roaches with my hands. I don't care.
My grandfather used to.
I sure will.
He used to just swat it and just kill it with his hand.
I don't give it like a funeral and get a napkin. Give it a coffin.
I know. You want to have a funeral and flush it down the toilet and all of that. Just put it in the garbage and stop playing.
Just want to pop.
But yeah, there was a tree roach that got in from outside. That came in because I had my patio door open, and I killed it, and it's still behind the dresser because I don't have no man. That you know, women love to be single. You know, women love to be single until a bug comes around. Like, all of a sudden, that's when we want somebody. Yeah, we be happy about being single. Otherwise, until a bug or a snake
or that dishwasher,
a mouse, or the dishwasher or the dryer break.
Yeah, just garbage disposal. That's the worst one, because I'm not doing nothing with that.
You know what else I miss having a man for? And y'all can probably relate to this because y'all probably all got the same issue too. They usually change the batteries in the alarm, the smoke alarm,
without you even asking.
Without even asking,
they just do it.
Well, for one, they can't stand the beeping.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is about me. I can just hear that thing beep. Like, it's just a part of my life now.
Yeah,
and it's just.
I mean, I get cramps, so anything that's below that is in the air. Yeah.
Yeah,
you say something. Do you hear anything?
I heard nothing. And I gotta get a ladder because I'm 5'2". You know what I'm saying? So I want a man for those things. Killing bugs. This is gonna be. I'm gonna start putting this on my profile. You can kill bugs.
Right.
Change alarm systems. Right. I'm not taking out no garbage. So
same.
That's gonna be your new job.
Same.
Snakes, mice. Like, basically, you're an exterminator.
Right. So if we see you with a man on the street, you got some critters and creatures crawling and creeping through. And you need some batteries.
Shout out to comedian Mama Lucci. He is going to be on the show, I believe, August 9th at Lab Jones. And he is a pest control well, I'm about to say pest control worker like it's a sex worker. He's in the profession of pest control.
Well, you know what? Maybe
we appreciate. He married already though, so his wife is good. His wife is good. He can everything that needs to be done. You know,
because everybody just Googled him. You know, the ladies just did.
I'm sorry, ladies. He's already taken, but it's just a perfect example. Of, you know, that's probably why he got married, because she was like, okay, you ain't scared of nothing,
right?
You can make sure we don't have nothing crazy.
Also, exterminators, and I think they're considered as I can't think of the name of it, but it's the term of like, we need the
essential worker.
Yeah, and you know what? And they've been saying that, so he's probably doing pretty decently right now, because people are actually, because of the coronavirus, being in our houses and quarantining, we're home a lot more, so there's more energy and heat, which is what bugs and stuff like. There's more food being eaten, there's more crumbs being dropped. So a lot of people are starting to ask for these exterminators and people right now, which is probably really good right now, because they're apparently taking away our $600, our extra $600. This week, I believe.
I think the extra $600 for unemployment is gonna end.
Just want back on hands.
But there is talk about the second round of stimulus checks,
which needs to happen.
So, according to what I read, August 7th will be the first. They're trying to decide by August 7th. But if they don't make a decision on passing the bill for more for stimulus, then it's going to go into September 7th.
Oh wow!
And hopefully that bill can be passed before the November 3rd election.
Hopefully,
but they say that the second round of stimulus may be like, if you have, especially those who have direct deposit.
Yeah.
If they decide on it by August 7th, the first round of checks will be August 27th.
Well, as long as they can get that done, that needs to happen. And because now I'm going back to OnlyFans. They're taking away my 600. So
you're gonna have to go back to OnlyFans because we don't know whether or not there's gonna be a second stimulus. But those that are qualified for the stimulus would be single under 75,000.
So like everybody,
yeah. So under under 75,000, but they're gonna exclude dependents that are 17 and up. So if you have a dependent you filed a dependent, they're not going to get it. Also, too, if you have filed jointly with someone who's not a citizen, that also disqualifies you too as well. I even read that they may even. I saw something about like even older people may not be eligible, which is crazy. I hope that's not true because they're the main people that need it. You know what I mean? Absolutely. But hey, if you want to join the conversation, call 281-587-1540. We are going to take a little break. You are watching 101.7 FM, or you're listening to it, 1540 AM. This is the Edge Morning Radio Show. So keep watching. Stay tuned.
Between the ages of 0 and 5, a child's mind is very impressionable. Researchers call it the theta brainwave. This low frequency is the state of consciousness between the conscious and subconscious worlds. In this state, the mind is capable of deep and profound learning, healing, and growth. There is a subconscious loop that's created during these early years. Who you believe you are has been downloaded based on experiences that you have had. A bad experience could create fears and limitations. Do you love who you are? Do you believe in yourself? The reality is that you can't control your childhood. All you can do is interpret it. You can choose to see your good and your value. Try this experiment. Project forward. See yourself at 80 years old. Now you have lived a lifetime. What advice would you have for your younger self? What risks would you have taken? What relationships would you have avoided? Did you celebrate life? Did you allow yourself to feel, to be present? Your 80-year-old self would tell you to not live in fear, to have faith that things will work out, that all you have to do is persist until you succeed. Your 80-year-old self would tell you to stay healthy, to take care of your body. And it would ultimately tell you to share your gifts with the world.
This is former Robert Brady. This is Noah Drew of Alpha Juno. And we want to talk to you about a new program, podcast. We're talking about former athletes who are doing a lot of things in the community. Various athletes in various sports. Swimming, track, soccer, football, baseball, former and current athletes here in the greater Houston area. All promoting growth. All promoting that which makes us all better. Edge Radio, truth still matters.
are back. You are listening to and watching Edge Radio Morning Show. I am your host, Tressa Ellaby, and I got my co-host over here, Leah Sampson. If you want to join in this conversation, call 281-587-1540. We are 101.7 FM, 1540 AM if you are in your car listening. You know what I'm saying? So, Leah, what's going on with Trader Joe's?
Okay, so apparently, and I've been seeing the story a couple of days now. You know, the white guilt is kicked in. It's real. It's true. And you know, and not even just that, but I feel like a lot of companies and people are just trying to be as careful as they can. And so Trader Joe's apparently got called out by this 17-year-old, and the 17 was like, "Yo, the things that y'all are."
Did they say yo?
Definitely. I feel like you gotta say yo. You gon' yo, look, I see the way you got this set up.
Y'all tripping.
Right. And you know, Trader Joe's is like, I don't know the history of them, but they're definitely in every neighborhood where Karens live.
You know,
and so they had names of food products like Trader Ming's, Arabian Joe's, Trader Jose's,
Trader Joe's,
Jose's, as Mr. Chichon would say.
Trader Jose.
Yeah, Trader Jose's, Trader Giotto's, and Trader Joe San appear on items such as habanero and lime salsa. So pretty much you're giving like the cultural items, their cultural, like, would you say stereotype? Because
I guess they call themselves, maybe they think that's positive,
right? Because if you think about like Mexican restaurants, it's always like Pedro's or Jose's or something. Because I mean, those are Latin names,
right?
And are there not Southern soul food restaurants named Teresa's,
Gloria?
Yeah. So I don't know. Look, they feel guilty. They feel like they did something wrong. And how do you feel about that? Well, yeah, they were saying that it was culturally insensitive to name, like. So yeah, I see like Trader Ming's. So I guess like an Asian ingredient, because I cook a lot.
Trader Ming's, yeah.
It's like, who is Ming? Who is she?
You're doing too much.
So
I mean,
but is there? But so where's that line drawn?
I mean, I wouldn't want them to be like Trader Quenisha,
right?
Watermelon flavored, Sambo, Trader Sambo watermelon,
right.
Like
Uncle
like you have to be careful with what you're doing. Think about things a little bit harder now.
And I think it's because it's one thing if the product comes from those people. Like, we can make a seasoning or something called a LaQuisha steak seasoning. We can do that. Asian people can use, Asian names and create their own product and represent it in that product. So it's like Trader Joe's, again, I don't really know the root of them, but they definitely, Trump is their boy, I would assume. That's just my opinion. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But definitely a white establishment. And so it is kind of like, why are these white people creating these cultural products with these
insensitive?
It's because, like, do they even know the history of these names?
Right. Like, did you consult with anyone from these
the communities?
And that's really what you're gonna have to start doing. Put other people on your board of directors and your marketing teams, and make sure what you're doing is gonna be widely accepted to those specific cultures. Because back in the day, we talked about Aunt Jemima already, with whether or not the whole issue with the there was a picture. It was blackface, but it was actually a woman in blackface that was white that was chained to the stove. And so the Aunt Jemima, that has been the slave that has been removed. But I'm just looking at an old ad for Aunt Jemima, and it says, "Eyes in town, honey. Happy days is here. Time for delicious Aunt Jemima's made with secret recipe ready mix for you." That is literally an ad for Aunt Jemima.
Yeah, well, and see, that's the thing. It's like,
can you believe that somebody literally do this? Like, but back then, it seemed like that would be so wrong.
That was the norm, and that's why I think that you've clearly, all this is cancel culture, right? That's a lot of things.
Yeah, I'm so glad that this is Lawsy. Folks show cheer for fluffy, energizing Aunt Jemima pancakes. That is literally an ad.
It's disgusting.
That is absolutely
disgusting. And that just, but that shows you that's why I feel like cancel culture is, the good part about it is that it's calling out things like that, but the bad part about it is that it's instead of discussing these, like, I haven't heard nobody say that.
Lawsee, like Lord,
like God, Lord see me.
Lawsee.
Change.
Lawsee. Is it Lord see? Okay, I look. That's disgusting. That is absolutely crazy. And although,
but we need to have those discussions about that instead of just like canceling things. Okay, why is this wrong? Because some people probably don't think that's wrong right now. That's horrible. If you thought that was just Trusta's fantastic theater,
no, that was real.
It was a great act, but it was real dialogue from a real time that this world was in, and still low key is. Just people a little bit more discreet.
I mean,
but that needs to be brought to surface. You got any more?
Any more of the law
of the Negro spiritual dialogue?
I'm just
to promote syrup. I always thought Aunt Jemima was kind of weird. It did look like the actual product looks like blackface. It's like a brown liquid in a mold of what seems to be a white woman, but she's got some height on her. So I
thought she had like a full face.
Yeah. I don't know.
She didn't have like a full. I thought
she had a full face,
looked like a
full hair,
black woman.
She had hair, head. I don't know. It's like she could have been a black woman, but I don't know. Just the clear bottles. Like when she got empty, I was like, I felt betrayed. Like you was full and brown, and now you clear and unforgivable.
I mean, some of these ads are ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Look, well, we're gonna get off of that, but back home in Chicago, y'all know I'm from Chicago. There was a shooting, and my mama's safe. I do know because she's actually commenting right now. So my mama good, and actually I knew she would see. I pay attention to what she likes on my page, so I know she's safe because she already done commented on my stuff when the shooting was actually happening.
Yeah.
But you were telling me some detail about that I didn't know. What were you saying about the shooting in Chicago?
Oh, just that it apparently happened at a funeral. Now, I don't know the details exactly why that was happening, but yeah, it was at a funeral and 17 people got injured. I'm not sure if anybody got killed. I don't think so, but hopefully not. But yeah, 17 people got injured, and it happened at a funeral home in Chicago.
And now that I think about it, the last funeral that I went to that was not my family member, back before I moved from Chicago. So this had to be in 2000 or something like that, 2003. One of my dearest friends, her boyfriend's funeral. He was indeed a very wealthy drug dealer, and so he had some enemies. But you wouldn't even tell he was a businessman. I mean, he was kind of like a Jay-Z type of guy that used his money to start businesses and things like that. But in that lifestyle, you gain enemies. And if you are going to a funeral for a drug dealer, or a known gangbanger, it's possible that the opposing gang will come. So after the funeral, there indeed was shooting, and I had to run to my car.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know. I forget stuff like that.
You kind of have to.
I do. I mean, there was somebody shot on my lawn. On 72nd and Ridgeland, but it was a nice neighborhood. It's just that they were looking for him.
So that's my question for you, actually. I've always wondered that. So, Chicago, y'all are known for gun violence, and it's even been worse now during the pandemic. So is it like that for real? You just said somebody died in your lawn, so I guess so.
Well, he didn't die. He didn't die. He just got shot in the leg. He got shot in the leg.
Oh, that's fine.
That's okay. Where we lived on 72nd and Ridgeland, there was big apartment complexes on the corner, and then you have the houses in the middle of that. And that's just kind of how some of the South Side neighborhoods are. You got the, I don't know, it's probably like 100 units or something, these big, huge apartment complexes. And then you have, the string of houses. So it was a very quiet neighborhood, close to Jeffries, Stony Island, not too far from Hyde Park, which is where the president and Louis Farrakhan lived too as well, which is more expensive area. But they were looking for him. It was a drive-by that they were trying to get that dude in particular, who was someone that I did see on a corner selling drugs before. So who knows what that happened. But as someone from Chicago, I mean, I didn't live in bad neighborhoods all my life or anything, and they weren't the best. I didn't live in in rich neighborhoods either. But we just don't feel scared. I can't really explain it, and somebody was shot at my school before.
Have you seen any of
and I think he died.
Oh no.
A friend was shot before. He ended up having a colostomy bag for the rest of his life, but he's alive. But still, I don't know what it is.
And now it's
we
just
just
like
don't
normal.
live in fear. It's like it's normal. You hear about certain things, but I never lived in an area where there was just shootings and killings every day. I didn't. You do hear that, but to this day, I didn't move here because I was scared of Chicago.
Right.
I moved here because Chicago is expensive.
Yeah.
Right. So we're gonna be right back, y'all. You are listening and watching 101 FM, 101.7 FM, 1540 AM, Edge Morning Radio Show with your host Tressa Ellaby and comedian Leah Sampson. We'll be right back.
Are you a small business owner concerned about the downturn in the economy? Top business leaders like Mattress Mac and Warren Buffett will tell you that now is the time to promote your business more than ever. People need your services. Your business needs an edge. Learn about special advertising packages for small businesses right here on Edge Radio. Find out more, give us a call at 281-744-0446. That's 281-744-0446. Edge, because truth still matters. We work our whole lives to support our families. With one accident or illness, it can all be gone in an instant. Now there's a smart, affordable way to protect your family. Go to findhealthbenefits.com and discover low-cost life insurance for as little as $2 per month. Add to that a tax-deferred annuity that can help you protect your assets and grow your money for retirement. Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094. A critical illness can strike without warning and wipe out your life savings. In fact, it's the #1 reason for bankruptcy. Find Health Benefits offers an affordable solution. Get up to $50,000 if you get cancer, stroke, or a heart attack, giving you the peace of mind to focus on getting better while the plan helps you to pay your bills and medical expenses. Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094. 66% of seniors spend more time shopping for cable TV than Medicare plans. Most say because it's just too confusing. Laws change every year. The wrong plan could cost you thousands and prevent you from seeing the doctors you want. Introducing FindHealthBenefits.com. Save time, save money, see specialists without referrals. Go to FindHealthBenefits.com or call 877-235-6094 for this informative brochure.
Society is on the edge. Let's bring them back. Edge Radio, because truth still matters.
We work
Edge Radio Network, where we have conscious conversation.
Edge is about love, relationships, and healing.
Edge Radio is for everyone and about everyone.
Edge is about working together.
Edge Radio is about recreating a beautiful body.
Edge is about community, synergy, and empowerment.
Edge is about being kind, compassionate, and loving to all.
Edge Radio is about beauty and fashion.
各位观众 ，Edge Radio 是大家最好听的一个电台，不要忘记听哦。Yeah, I love Edge Radio. You can hear all about the topic and join us soon.
Edge is about being on the edge and not jumping. Yes.
When people stop talking to each other, society is on the edge. Let's bring them back. Edge Radio, because truth still matters.
And we are back. You are listening and watching to Edge Radio Morning Show, 101.7 FM, 1540 AM. And I'm your host, comedian Tressa Ellaby. And my co-host is here, the lovely comedian Leah Sampson.
Good morning. Hi.
Yes. It is still morning. It is still morning. It's early than a mug. Well, look, I got a fun fact for you guys on mentalfloss.com. You know, I was trying to, the other day, Oscar brought up, our guest co-host Oscar brought up, one of our producers, he brought up where wearing the ring finger on your left hand came from. You know, and it came from the Egyptians, where they thought that your love was connected, you know, directly to your heart. So you have that they thought that the heart was connected specifically to this vein that went straight to the middle finger, and so that ring meant that you were capping off, you know, that love. That was that connection. Oh wow, you know what I mean?
Cute.
Okay. So I figured, okay, what about some other stuff regarding marriage? You know what I mean? You ever figured out where honeymoon came from?
No.
Or even wondered or cared?
No,
like,
never.
How, you know, where does that come from? Is that just a woman that just made up a reason
honeymoon
for lots of money to be spent besides her dress and everything else?
Oh, because because like mooning, like moon. No, it's like the moon is out and it's like honey, and honey is like love making. And like
that's what,
and that's definitely what goes on
that's
on
what
a
you
honeymoon.
think. So it says the first recorded description of the word comes from 1542, when Samuel Johnson wrote, "The first month after marriage, where there is nothing but tenderness and pleasure," originally having no reference to the period of a month or anything, but comparing mutual affection of newly married persons to the changing moon, which is no sooner full that it begins to wane. And then also it says the etymology of the word comes from Old English. Honey, moon. Honey is a reference to honey, like you just said.
Look at me.
Right? Refers to the infinite period of tenderness and pleasure experienced by a newlywed couple. And then I also read that back then, in those days in England, it was a time that the father-in-law would give mead, which was this, you know, I guess some people say beer, or is this, you know, certain kind of beer that they can have an unlimited amount of this mead, you know, that the groom is getting from the actual it's a mead or beer made from honey. And so that says so it says back in the 5th century, when cultures represented calendar time with moon cycles, back then a newlywed couple drank mead during their first moon of marriage. Mead is a honey-based alcoholic drink believed to have aphrodisiac properties. So now it just refers to that time after the wedding where, you know, you got to give all your honey to your honey.
So I was right.
You know what I mean?
It's about yeah.
So yeah,
when the moon is out.
When the moon is out, they had these different periods of times. Right. You know, they drank mead together. You know, made of honey, and that was your period of time where you had love and tenderness, and you was drunk.
They exchange honey.
And you were drunk off a honey-made mead, basically. So that's interesting.
Give it to the kids, Tressa.
You know, I mean, and then it was supposed to be your first time consummating the marriage, but I'm not gonna wait. I need to know what's going on with
test
that
drive.
thing. I gotta test drive that.
Ooh, can you imagine?
I can't.
Could you imagine?
I can't.
Staying with someone.
I can't.
And marrying them.
I can't.
And then they're like, oh, I gotta use the bathroom first. And then you peek and
it's a pinky.
And it's like, move your thigh. Can I?
You know,
you got the shadow with something.
I can't.
Oh, that's so dreadful.
The closest that me and my ex-husband came to that was, first of all, we had already done the do already. Okay, at like 18 years old.
Was he your first?
What? No.
Wait, I thought you said you were like 17.
I was 19 when I got married, but no, I had a first years before that. We talk about that another.
First year, 19.
We had years.
Oh, you was already. That's right. You was already a manager by 17. So
exactly.
Well, okay,
I had already moved out by.
Right.
I had my first apartment at 17.
Right.
Okay, so no, it was before that. It was too young. But it was too young. I don't want people to stop listening once they find out how young I was, and that's why my daughter can't go nowhere. But anyway. And she's 20 years old. Because I'm just trying not to have her act like me. So anyway.
Too late.
No, seriously. She good.
But y'all definitely the same personality. Y'all together is amazing.
So 19 years old, right? We had both decided to live based on biblical terms. So we had already done the do. But we had decided to be abstinent. You know what? I don't have time.
See, look, every time relationship with God, you gotta abide, and you can't.
Every time Leah gets me, every time. We were very much so in church 5 days a week at that time. Since then, my third eye is open, but that's another story. But I used to go to church. We used to go to church all the time. He grew up in the church. My ex-husband always wanted to be married, since he was like 10 years old, and he had told me that when we were like 16 or 17, that he was going to marry me, and I laughed at it or whatever. Mm-hmm. Okay. So fast forward, we get engaged, and we decided to remain abstinent from the time that we got engaged until marriage. But we had already done it. So we cheated already. Cause I already knew.
Y'all did the whole take backsies kind of thing. It's like we already did it, but okay, well, let's just not do it until we get married so God loves us more. Yeah. And then, okay.
Well, what happened before I was even open to being a Christian, he had asked me on the train when we were 17, what do I think about not having sex anymore?
Wow. He said that to you?
He said that.
Wow.
Because he felt convicted about it. Oh. And, he grew up, in the church or that was wrong. And I went off.
Trista.
I went smooth off on homeboy. I was like, that's the stupidest thing I done ever heard. Right. It don't make no sense. We done already did it. And
that's
blah, blah,
true,
blah.
Yeah.
And so I went off on him. But then at 19, I got saved, as they say, and then I remembered that I was 18. I got saved at 18, and saved and sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost at that time. Okay, Amen. And I remembered that he wanted to. That he was the first one, the first male that ever even would say something like that to me. So it was like, okay, so he loves God more than me and himself. Right. So I sought him out. We had broke up since then. So once I got saved, I found him again and we started dating, and then we end up getting married.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So now fast forward, I absolutely believe in God, but not specific rules of the Bible. I don't.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, I wouldn't say won't he do it, but y'all divorced, so I guess still won't he do it.
Won't he do it?
Won't he do it? Won't he do it?
I do wish he was just my baby daddy. I do. I do. Because I can't say it. But then back then, because I was so religious, I wouldn't have had my daughter. You know what I mean? So I wish I didn't get married that young, but at the same time, my daughter wouldn't be here because I wouldn't have had a child out of wedlock.
Yeah, it all happens
because that was important
the way
to
it
me
happens
at that time. You know,
it all happens the way it happens. My mom has and they just saying this out loud is kind of crazy to think, but I have two sisters. She has 3 daughters by 3 different men,
right?
And it's funny, and we grew up in church, and she was very still involved in the church. But that's what's so interesting. It's like you hear stuff like that, and it's like frowned upon. But if you really think about it, it's like she was married, had my sister,
Exactly.
divorced. Okay, this is where I do say, I mean, I'm a treat. I'm a treat, but I do think my mom messed up with me. Like, she had no business talking to my dad. My dad was the dude in the middle that, you know, made her laugh, made her feel good. So then there's me. And then now she's with my sister's father, who they've been married for 25 years now. So it's like, it wasn't, and she wasn't like just hopping around. It literally was like, she got married, had my sister, was with my dad. They were actually together when he was like in the city, not with his everything else. And then she got married. So look, I just say do you, and the way it works out, and you get your daughter, you get me.
I don't judge anybody. I look at things completely different.
Yeah, everybody's life is different.
A lot of people, you know, whether you admit it or not, if you did have an abortion or something, you would have more kids, and it probably would be with different men.
And you know what?
I mean, you know, they just chose to take care of their responsibility. Yeah. Whereas when I was 17, I got pregnant, and I did not, and I do not have any qualms about that. I don't feel bad about it.
Yeah,
it happened. I'm glad I didn't have a baby at 17 years old.
Yeah,
you know, I'm absolutely pro-choice, 100%. We got a phone call coming in. Is this my mama? Is my mama calling in again? Because she called in yesterday. Okay, let's see. Let me try. Let's see what this is.
It's Miss Elvie.
Is it my mama?
It's your mama. Hi, mama.
Hey.
I knew it. I said, watch this be my mama calling me.
Okay, I'm going to make a short comment. I'm not going to be over talk y'all. I just want to say one thing about what God says. Okay, since I'm a minister.
Oh, we getting the word.
She's a minister.
I know, we getting the word.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the deal. He knows everybody intimately. And whatever decisions that you made, he takes those things into consideration. But there are some people that either can't or won't, or, you know, do certain things. But he looked at all of us through love. He knows what kind of personality you have. Mm-hmm. So, like me, I decided I needed to have sex because my dad told me that I couldn't have it unless I got married. So I got married so I could have serious sex all day long, every day, and that's how you got here.
Right. Exactly. And that,
can you and your mom go out for drinks?
You know, well, she's in Chicago.
Spirit flight's $2 plus a water cup right now.
We trying to move that. But yeah, that's how I came. You end up getting married, following what Grandpa wanted to do.
Yes.
But you got divorced.
Right.
So you know you can't just please don't get married just so you can have some sex.
So yeah, Miss Elvie, would you say it was worth the marriage?
Well, I got married, really, honestly, like I said, to get away from my father because he was so strict. It was a lifer in the United States Air Force.
Oh, well,
so
wow, well, yeah.
No way I was going to be free unless I got married.
Because you had me at 22, right?
It's never, pardon?
Weren't you 22 when you had me? You got married at 20 and had me at 22 or 23 or something like that?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
And then I did the same thing. So I did the same thing and had my daughter. I was 22. And I'm the only child, and then my daughter's the only child. Well, my dad has 2 other kids, but I'm saying I'm my mother's only child, and I have 1 child, and that was it, one and done. We had this conversation. I just wanted 1 kid, and Mom, you just wanted 1 kid too, right?
That's awesome.
I only wanted 1 child, and I wanted a girl. I just wanted to see if I could do it.
Well, you wanted to do it and see if she could do it, and she did it.
Yeah,
nice.
And then your whole point was that God sees us through love, and whatever it is that we're going through, you know, He's not here to judge. We judge each other.
Yeah,
basically.
And the scripture says, comparing yourselves among yourselves is not wise.
That's true.
And it isn't wise.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Okay?
That's true.
You just need to deal with him however, like I do, you deal with him. You know, and he'll get the message to you, because sometimes you can hear that still small voice. I hear him through scripture because I know the scripture so well. So he talks to me through scripture.
Yes, she does.
And then other times, I talk to myself and say, "What the hell are you doing? This is not going to work."
Mm-hmm. There you go. Well, thank you, Mama, for calling in again.
Thank you.
Since you called yesterday after I left. Me and Leah got the day off tomorrow, so we won't be here tomorrow. So, but still, you can still call in. But just
please do.
But thank you for calling in, and I will call you after the show.
Oh, okay.
Love you.
I love you, baby.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
That was my mama.
Why? What? Your daughter, and her, you need a TV show on, the OWN network or Bravo.
We said that because my mother is hilarious.
Wow, that is amazing.
My whole family is hilarious. But yeah.
And that's great. But it's funny, that's how it is. It's like you put these restrictions and rules on your kids, and it ends up pushing them further away from what you really want them to do. Or it's like, I can't have sex until I'm married. Okay, let's get it popping.
Exactly.
Vegas, here we come, because I'm ready.
Exactly.
And so I'm glad we got the little scripture. I know that the new what do you call him? What's that gospel singer's name?
Kirk Franklin?
Kirk Franklin, the new Kirk Franklin, Kanye West.
Man.
He experienced a lot of marriage and godly situations right now, and just a whole lot of.
So you were saying earlier that Kanye is now saying that he was corrupted by Kim Kardashian. Is that what is going on right now?
What I've seen recently is that apparently the Kardashians were trying to put him into a 5150 situation, which is it refers to a law that was in California that pretty much said that you can involuntarily throw people in pretty much these mental hospitals, and necessarily they don't get help because they're just considered as crazy.
That's crazy.
So they're just so pretty much the Kardashian clan has showing their true colors instead of trying to help Kanye.
They want to put him away.
Right, they want to put him away.
I thought maybe they probably needed to when he said that if he was president, he wanted to stop Plan B pills and have Plan A, which is giving women $50,000 a year to have the baby, and just outlaw Plan B. I don't know how he think that's going to work. I'm not really sure. But
I didn't hear this.
Yeah, so
What?
he crazy. He wilding because Plan B is absolutely needed. But we got a Kanye fan here before we go. Our producer Vince has been following Kanye forever. He is the reason that Vince even has a Twitter, because Kanye's not on Instagram. Vince, what do you think about this whole thing with, is Kanye crazy? Did this just start this year? What do you think is going on with Kanye?
I mean, I think to dismiss someone as crazy when you don't completely know the whole story, I think that's kind of counterproductive.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy to look at him from our position and say oh, he's crazy, he's wild, oh, something must be going on.
Right.
I mean, but he's always been outspoken. He's always been a little brash. I mean, he's been like that his entire career.
Yeah.
So it's there's kind of been this really since even before his mom died, it kind of seemed like ever since he's entered the industry, there's been this slow descent into some sort of madness.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's but I feel like he's had influences in his ear that have slowly pushed him that way.
You think so?
It's me personally. I mean, before.
But we talking about his wife? What do you what you mean?
Before he married Kim.
Okay.
I mean, he was doing things he shouldn't have been doing these things. I mean, or it just depends on who you ask. Now,
right.
I remember it was a big thing when he's oh, George Bush hates black people. And I was one of those people, and I was young when that happened. I was one of those people, I was he hadn't really shown that he likes black people a whole lot.
Right, per se.
So, for him to come out and say that, is it really that crazy a thing to say?
Right.
I mean, he has a drunk tirade at the award show. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like Kanye. It's kind of, it's kind of Kanye. But you go forward, even the comments about slavery being a choice. And maybe it's because I followed him, his entire career, that maybe I didn't take it the way most people took it.
Most people took it.
The way I heard it was a lot of things people have done after slavery, some of these things were choices that we and we put ourselves in these positions. That's just how I took it. And I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm right, but that's just how I took it. I feel like people heard slavery was a choice and they's oh, he crazy.
like the continuous slavery.
Because we're still experiencing it to a certain extent now. But I thought he was like literally saying like, hey, we should have just tried to kill everybody and kill, and we chose to
his message through his music and just in general his entire career has been the exact opposite of that.
It's been positive.
So why would he then come out and say this right here, like, oh, slavery was an option, that was a choice,
right?
I was like, but his message has never been that,
right?
And even going forward, like now the Kardashians, I have my own opinion about the Kardashians.
What is it?
Yeah, speak on it.
I just feel like they're toxic.
Okay.
The entire family, the whole Kardashian Jenner clan is toxic. I mean, there's rumors in the stories, but like you also see the evidence. Like Lamar Odom wasn't that crazy before he fell asleep. I mean, he had issues. I mean, he came from a situation
they were exacerbated,
but it's like they took that and it was magnified.
Yeah,
it was complete. And
but again, that's back to choices. I mean, he still is choosing. I just don't know about blaming these people.
No. I don't think you can put the blame. No, because like I said, even before them, like he was doing things that some people question anyways. Mm-hmm. But I think they took that and made it larger. Now, like Bruce Jenner, I didn't follow Bruce Jenner.
No,
I mean, that was before my time.
Right.
But, it be who you are. I'll never shame anyone for being who they are. But, like, I just find it kind of interesting that it came out of that family.
Really?
That out of that family, like, Bruce Jenner became Caitlyn Jenner. Like, just because of the way I view the Kardashians, I wasn't 100% like, that's interesting that it happened in that family. Just because of all the things that happened and the rumors around that family, it just kind of makes me do a double take.
I knew it was going to happen. I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off. I knew I could, before they even announced it, I said to myself that Bruce is beginning to look like a woman, just with the plastic surgery that he was having. So I had a feeling that was going to happen. And then I think Family Guy or Simpsons or whatever outed him, and so we kind of knew what direction that was going. But there are still people that feel like that in itself is crazy, but I don't. If you felt like you are in the wrong body, that's real. I can't relate to anything like that, but Kanye has not been the same himself since his mom passed. So before that, do you recall, Vince, anything that was egregious that he did before that happened?
Well, it's really just like because he's always been known for those outbursts and just speaking his mind. He's always been that. He's always been that person,
right?
And even now, like with his whole presidential campaign, like it's really not too far from Kanye than what we've seen his entire career.
Right.
It's just like I just think over time, it's grown. It's kind of like a tumor. It's just grown.
It's just grown and grown.
It's just gotten bigger.
And so, as a fan, do you feel like he's doing this for album sales?
Partly, absolutely.
I think
partly for sure.
Yeah, I think he's taking advantage of it. Also, it's interesting. You asked, like, do we notice any of this stuff before his mom died? He said before he's always talked about running for president.
Right.
That's the thing. It just looks a little bit more wild now because he has other things that are kind of hitting the fan. And it's interesting that we bring up his mom and the Kardashians because the Kardashians, to me, it's like that. You have to have a strong family to survive in this industry. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's not his family. I think his family was his mom.
Right.
And then when she was gone, he didn't have that didn't have that foundation. Well, of course the Kardashians, they're good.
That's true.
They're good. He's not going to be good.
Yeah.
So it's like now it's even more separation of them trying to get rid of him. It doesn't seem genuine. It doesn't seem like,
right.
And that's, again, not to blame them for his problems.
Absolutely.
But, he doesn't have that family. He doesn't have that real support system.
Not only that, when she married him, she had to know that he was a little off. But I feel that was a power play, to be a power couple, and now you got power kids and
power problems.
I believe his daughter is worth, I want to say I think it was 13 million or something right now. I was looking up kids that were worth millions before they even born. But
like me.
This has been amazing, amazing show with Leah. We'll be back. So the next show is Conscious Conversations. Conscious Conversations is coming up next. So I want you to keep on listening. You are watching Edge Radio Morning Show, weekdays 8:30 to 10 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 1540 AM. And I am Tressa Ellaby, your host. You can find me on www.tressaellaby.com, at Comedian Tressa on all socials. Also, Laugh Jones Comedy Club booker. So if you're a comedian looking to get booked, send me your avails, your clip at laughjonescomedyclub@gmail.com. Where can they find you, Leah?
I'm on Instagram at official Leah Sampson and on Twitter at Leah_Sampson1.
All right. Well, this is it. Stay tuned for Conscious Conversations.
This is Dr. Gabriel Arango with Arango Chiropractic Clinic, and today I'd like to inform you that Doctors of Chiropractic are primary contact healthcare providers who provide essential care, including but not limited to managing acute and urgent musculoskeletal conditions. These services are critical for managing cases that otherwise could end up in the emergency rooms, worsening an already difficult situation. It is important to note that chiropractic services also keep in place health care providers, first responders, and others who have physically strenuous jobs that support critical infrastructure, such as truck drivers who continue to ensure that America's healthcare and food supplies get to where they are needed during the COVID-19 pandemic. This information was brought to you by Arango Chiropractic.